I couldn't have imagined being from Iceland and getting to the World Cup. If I would have told you that when I was 14 years old or 15 years old, if I would have told someone I was going to get to the World Cup, they would have laughed at me. Coming from a small town in north of Iceland, the weather during the winter is quite rough. It was dark, it was snowy, yeah, it was cold when I was growing up. I was used to it. Looking back at it now, it sort of made me the player who I am today. This sort of tough mentality, never giving up player. It's my church. This is the postcode of 603 Akureyri. It's sort of where I've obviously grown up. It sort of represents the my hometown and family. But it was a quiet place where there was not much to do other than sports, school and work in between. I was an energetic kid, a lot of energy, and I think my parents knew that if I spent the energy somewhere, I would behave at home. And I think that's the main reason why they took me into sport, to sort of release all that energy I had in myself. Obviously no football was played during winter. Later in life, obviously the facilities got better. We had the indoor artificial grass houses built in my hometown, and that was a total difference. I mean, the hours I spent in there, I used to really get chucked out of the building when they were closing, because I was just there passing the ball into the wall, because it was something different. I could play there every day of the year, and it felt nice. The facilities were getting better, and I think the Federation in Iceland put a lot of money into that, which is why we are where we are at the moment. We've got some strong team, and we're building something special. That was something I put my mindset into getting, and luckily when I was 17 I got a chance to move to Holland. I didn't really think of it before I moved, but as soon as I was there I knew I was in a different world, and football world is quite tough, because I basically had to learn football all over again. How to think about where you're going to touch the ball, the first touch, where you're going to place the next pass. I didn't learn that when I was young. I remember my first training session there, playing with guys who were same age as me, and I think I got megged about 4 times during the first training. You know, I didn't feel comfortable, I'll tell you that. But I knew I had the drive and the mentality that some of the technical players in Holland didn't have. And if I kept at it and kept improving myself, I would go a step further than them. I was lucky to have a strong family who were supportive. They were always the first I looked towards, and if I needed any comfort. I remember the first 2 months in Holland were really tough. I was in a hotel, and I remember ringing my mom, crying basically during the evening, saying, "Oh, I don't really want to do this." And then it was always the same thing she said. Imagine what your mates here in Akureyri would do for the opportunity you were getting. It sort of made me realise how lucky I was to have that chance of proving myself and be a professional footballer, hopefully in the future. And it made me stronger mentality again. I had to grow up. I was 17, but I felt like I was about 20 at the time, because I had to be strong to move away from my family and friends. And it was good to know they were behind me. They made all the coaches having to have qualification if they were about to coach any kids, and that was the main change that Federation did. It was a good change. Something had to be done, because football is such a big sport. It brings everyone together, and a team who grown up together through the youth system, a team that's always believed in himself. I think we created that momentum, especially the under-21s when we got to the Euro finals in Denmark, and we fought our way into the first team, I think, and we got a great experience from the former coach. He had to basically bring all the younger players in to give us the time in for 3 or 4 years to be a good team. And I think the foundation we've got is quite strong. We know each other, we know each other's strength, we're all best mates. And I think that plays a big part, because I know exactly what Gylfi Sigurðsson, who plays with me in midfield. I know exactly his weaknesses and I know his strengths. He does the same to me, and we do the same to the wingers, and so on and so on. It's taken a long time, but we definitely, it's all been worth it. Obviously, the hard work and the time we've spent together, it's all been worth it, because no one expected us to get to the Euros. No one expected us to then go and get to the World Cup. It's going to be tough for the coaches coming in to maintain that progress, but I think Iceland is on the way up, but we need to keep on to the fundamental, the hard work and never giving up mentality that we've always had. And that's down to us as well. When the younger players come into the group or into the squad, even a friendly game or whatever, we have to show them it's not easy, it's hard work. I knew the national coach were following my progress in the under-21s, and when I got the phone calls telling me that they wanted me to jump onto the first team, the feeling was surreal, because I was so looking forward to it. My contract in AZ Alkmaar didn't include the car. I had the driving license, so from the first time I got there. The first year I stayed there I was cycling in and towards the training, and then my mom said enough is enough and bought me a scooter, a red sort of, it basically looked like a motorcycle, but it was a scooter. And there was a game in Malta. We had a friendly match against Belarus, and I remember myself going to the train station on my scooter I had in Holland, with the luggage on my back to take the train to go to Amsterdam. Played the game, obviously. Come back to the train station late night. Got to the train station. I was going to jump on my scooter and go home, and I looked there, and it was only one of the tires and the chain around it. Someone had stolen my scooter. So I was high up and then back down low. When I rang my mom, telling her it was stolen, she just started laughing as well, because she's obviously bought the scooter for myself. It was obviously her item, and then ringing her telling her it was stolen, and just cried, just started laughing. It was a weird moment, especially like coming from such a high from your first game international, thinking you were starting to build the momentum in the first team, and then coming home and just put straight down to the ground. At least he kept my feet on the ground. Telling, there you go. Where's your scooter now, mate? We had that group where we weren't scared of anything. We weren't scared of making mistakes. We were new to it, obviously. We were inexperienced, and that did help us at the beginning. Going through that group stage, we did play some phenomenal football, some good football, and some bad football as well, where it could have been better. We played against Croatia at home, 0-0. We had a man sent off, so we actually looked at it thinking we've got a chance here. And then coming to Croatia, playing the second game, they had a man sent off. They were 1-0 up at half time. We only needed that one goal. That, I think, told us that we weren't ready. We weren't ready for the World Cup. I think we just weren't ready as a group. as a team. We were ready as individuals because we believed in ourselves, but we weren't ready as a team. I remember sitting in the dressing room after the game, disappointed. I didn't have my best game, and neither did anyone else in the team. I can't remember who said it, but someone said, just go to the Euros then. And then we were disappointed that night, and then we just started building on again. And that shows the character in the team, being knocked down but ready to stand up again. During that campaign, the Euro campaign, we just gradually got better and better, learn into each other, how we were playing. We made our home ground a force. We hadn't lost there since 2015, and that has helped us massively with our amazing fans. And it's just been a journey that's been I'm so lucky to be a part of. We were under a lot of pressure. We had drawn both our games, both the Portugal and Hungary game, so we needed a point against Austria to go through. In our 91st minute, their pressure, they put a lot of pressure on us. One of the lads, we defend in the corner, heads it away. One of the lads hooks it forward onto a player who's, I don't know what he's doing up there, but he's on his own. Runs all the way from the midfield, middle of the pitch to the 18-yard box. Squares it past to another player who has to slide to get to the ball and goes in on the inside. 2-1 victory against Austria, last minute goal. Our commentator, the feelings he pronounced during that clip, unbelievable. But it described everyone in Iceland. I think I've seen a lot of videos of people just literally standing behind their couch, jumping for joy, and him scoring that goal gave us the opportunity to play against England. The population, the whole country wanted just to play against England because we knew so much about their league, because it's shown every day in Iceland. It's shown every game, and we just wanted to play against this massive football nation, just get one chance, and then that was the goal that got us to that game against England. I know they felt the pressure because they were playing against this little Iceland team that hadn't done anything before, and losing against them would be tragic. And they played on their mind, I think. I didn't worry about that game one bit. I think I knew we had them from the start. I think even though they scored early, I didn't worry too much because it was just so much pressure on them. The young players they had in their team, good team. Sterling, Dele Alli, Eric Dyer come off injured. Harry Kane. It was a young team who were just put under too much pressure, and that's what I felt during the game. I felt they played within themselves. They didn't do the simple things right. See a mistake that they don't usually do, and we just kept growing into the game. We had a lot of chances, scored 2 early goals. I think we were 2-1 up in 20 minutes, and they didn't worry us at all during the game. As soon as the final whistle goes, I remember just running towards our fans, took my top off for some reason, don't know why, run towards, like behind the advertising board, see that nobody's following me, so I sort of jog back and run onto the pitch, go on the floor. I wanted to cry, but I didn't really know what to do, and then I thought, oh, hold on, I ain't thanked the other players for the game, so I walk over, thank them for the game, and then we come together and do this famous Viking clap that got so famous after the game. it was in perfect harmony. I think the camera's just right there waiting for this to happen, and it's a moment that it's gone through the world, worldwide on YouTube, and that it was that time that people actually thought, wow, like Iceland is my team now, because we were the underdogs, and the kids now growing up, they want our shirt, they want the national shirt, and with someone's player from the national team's name on the back of it. It used to be the Man United shirt, it used to be Dwight York or Solskjaer or Beckham on the back of the shirt in the Man United, but now it's sort of changing. We are realising we are beginning to be role models for the younger generations coming up in Iceland. We brought sort of everyone back to enjoying themselves, because it was a moment where everyone was laughing, everyone was smiling, everyone was crying with joy, and we actually did that. It's amazing what football actually does for you, for the people. This picture says everything that has to be said about you, even though it's the best football player in the world or someone else, it doesn't matter. You don't show any mercy. Read the interview with Cristiano after the game, saying, because we drew and we were celebrating, and he mentioned something about small country mentality, where I just thought, hold on a minute, we've never been at this stage before. You've probably done it plenty of times, and you've had your success. We've just drawn against a Portugal team, the team who went on to actually win the Euro finals, and it was a big deal for us. So it was a bit like, yeah, okay. Been easier to congratulate us of how well organised we were defensively, because he didn't score. Of course, we're going to be proud of that. We're going to celebrate. We're going to do our thing, and that's what we always do. If that's small country mentality, then I'm fine with it.